briefing. Nthakoana, good afternoon to you. I suppose one of the questions that's being asked ahead of this briefing is, will this inquiry bring about some kind of prosecution or criminal charges that could be levelled against the Guptas?
Well, Natasha, that's the question that many people are asking, but that's not the only question that many are asking. The other question is why it is taking so long for this commission to actually sit, because according to Deputy Chief Justice Zondo, they started their work at the beginning of March. Now, where we are now is apparently where we will get a sense of where things will happen in terms of venue, but also when and how they're expected to happen. But you will remember that President Cyril Ramaphosa made an amendment to the regulations of this commission. Initially, evidence that was presented before this commission was not supposed to lead to prosecution per se, but he made an amendment to the Regulation 8 of the commission to make evidence presented before this commission admissible unless it is in a case where a person is incriminating themselves. Another issue that many are asking, of course, these are allegations that behind the scenes there are some powerful people who are trying to get amnesty going or amnesty deals going even before this commission sits. It is one of the things, I suppose, that we can ask the Deputy Chief Justice if it is indeed a fact that is happening. So many questions around the commission, Natasha.
Well, based on that, then there must surely be some telling evidence that's going to come out in this inquiry that people are perhaps worried about. But also based on what you're saying, is there support for the inquiry, or do you think that support for this inquiry is somehow being blocked or pushed back?
Well, Natasha, you see, that's another thing that we can only ask the Chief Justice and his team. And you know that at the beginning of March, he did announce the people that will be in this commission, including advocates. These are people who will form part of his investigations team, as well as the Secretariat. And you know that the EFF, for instance, came out to say that they were against some of the people who were appointed to that commission, case in point being the former Auditor General, and that is Nombembe, but also they were against Advocate Pretorius heading the legal team of this commission. But of course, Advocate Judge Zondo then came out in support of his team to say that these are the best people that he has appointed to head this commission. And I suppose we can see when it does start. But of course, it's another thing that we can ask him whether or not it is part of the reason there have been delays, or it is just basically logistics.
The time frame of 180 days, people saying that's surely not enough. Is this again something we'll have to wait to hear from the Chief Justice himself?
Certainly, because, I mean, if you look at the fact that they started their work at the beginning of March, we're already at the end of, May? And that means that it is quite a long time that has gone by. So if you're talking about 180 days, that is 6 months. So the question is, will this commission be able to complete the sittings, the presentation of evidence, and if need be, go forward and recommend prosecutions? But also remember that there are other processes that are happening parallel to this commission. And there is the public protector who has said, for instance, that she will once again go back to the issue of the Estina dairy farm, including the former Premier of Free State, as well as the former Agriculture MEC and former Mining Minister, Msebenzi Zwane. But there are also parliamentary processes that are going around the state capture issue. So the other issue is, how do they merge to help this commission, or do they remain parallel?
All right, Nthakoana, thanks very much. We'll leave it there for now. I'm sure a very interesting press briefing awaits. Nthakoana Ngatane live for us there ahead of that press briefing by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo ahead of that inquiry into a state capture.